Hello, my name is Andrew Koch, and I'm the editor of Family Tree Magazine. And today I want to take you inside an issue of one of our magazines so you can know what to expect, what kind of articles we write, what kind of topics we cover if you subscribe to our magazine or buy a single issue off of the newsstand or from our shop at familytreemagazine.com/shop. So as you'll see here, this is our March-April 2021 issue. And although we're only looking at one issue today, it's pretty representative of the kinds of materials we cover in every issue of the magazine. So as you'll see, this is the cover where you can see these cover lines advertise some of the different features that you can expect. So first up here is our table of contents, which lays out how the magazine is organized. This first section is called Branching Out, and in magazine lingo, it's called our feature well. It's where we put our long-form, in-depth how-to articles about various subjects, and these rotate through each different issue. So this issue has, for example, an article on Irish genealogy research, on why you should join a genealogical society, on tips for preserving family photos and saving them from damage, Canadian genealogy websites, and how to plan a family history trip. So a pretty wide variety of subjects, and again, those will vary from issue to issue. Each issue of the magazine also contains two of our popular state research guides. We'll get into these, but they're research guides to, as the name would suggest, researching within a specific state. In this issue, we have California and Ohio. If you want a specific state, you can find all of our state research guides on our website as well. And here, you'll see Everything's Relative and Tree Tips, which are our two sections of the magazine devoted to columns or departments. And we'll get to each of these sort of in depth. And then on this facing page is a note from me that appears in every issue where I kind of summarize what the issue is about and call your attention to a couple specific items and let you know more broadly what's going on with the family tree community. The first of our columns or departments is Tree Talk, which is a reader-submitted responses. So we'll put out a question on our social media channel, and you can see down here where we have our links to our various social media platforms. And this covers, in this particular issue, we asked about genealogy societies, why you're a part of them, again, telling you with that article that we have on genealogical societies. Then we have a couple other notes here that links to our shop, our podcast, and our university, as well as our website VIP program. Here's our opening page here for Everything's Relative, with a little quote about family history. And now we get into our Tech News column, which is curated by Sunny Jane Morton, who's one of our contributing editors. And this two-page spread covers the latest tech news to come out of the genealogy world. So you'll see here just kind of a variety. Sometimes it's new website features, so new marriage announcements from Ancestry.com, family search, supporting more languages on their site, or updates from the Daughters of the American Revolution and Genie. Sometimes we also have updates from genetic genealogy companies, or more sort of ephemera from the genealogy tech world. Here we have Lisa's Picks, which is curated by Lisa Louise Cook. These are little bite-sized genealogy finds. Sometimes they're, as you can see here, preservation ideas or tech tools that you might find useful. And you might recognize Lisa from Genealogy Gems or as the host of our podcast. Here we have our historical timeline where we look at the history of something, as you can see, throughout human history. We have, in this case, wheels. Some of our other topics have included salad, all kinds of fun historical tidbits for the history lovers out there. Family History Home is a column about preserving your family heirlooms or other projects that involve your treasured objects from your family history. So here we have preserving musical instruments, different tips for taking care of them, how to store them, where to store them. Very useful information. Here we have Stories to Tell, which is a genealogy success story that comes from someone in the community. So in this case, somebody who looked kind of backwards and forwards to learn about an ancestor that they had previously known nothing about and reconnected with some long-lost cousins. Over here we have Your Turn, which is a genealogy form. Each issue contains a form that will allow you to keep track of a different aspect of your family history. So in this case, a photo inventory form, and many of these you can find amongst our free form collections on our website. Moving along here, we have Branching Out. Again, that's our feature well. And this page usually has a quote and an image that sort of summarize what the issue is about. So here we have an old Irish blessing to correspond with the Irish genealogy feature, which we can take a look at here. So as you'll see, our feature articles are longer in length, usually somewhere between 5 and 12 pages long, in fact. And that allows us to get really in-depth about a particular article in a particular subject written by an expert in the field. So here we have Claire Santry talking about all the different things you need to consider when you start researching your Irish ancestors, some history. You can see latter parts of that set of bullet points here, pitfalls in Irish research, the importance of knowing what place you want your ancestors, if they were in the Republic of Ireland or Northern Ireland, and looking at all the different historical jurisdictions. We have a map here. Sometimes we have sample records. Go back up here, you see this sidebar. So kind of a more information. And I should mention, throughout the issue, you'll see these green boxes, and those refer to articles on FamilyTreeMagazine.com that you can take advantage of that are related. So keep on clicking here. And I'll go ahead and jump forward to our state guides here. As I mentioned, these are 4-page guides that are designed to be collectible, that you can pull them out and keep them with your research, and they go in depth about one particular state in the Union. So here we have, they cover the general history of the state as well as some of the key record sets and strategies that you want to keep in mind when you're researching there. This Fast Facts sort of summarizes the most important dates, so when California became territory, when it was first documented in the census, and when it began keeping birth and death records as well as marriage records. And we also have a historical timeline that compiles the most important dates in the state's history through a genealogical lens, and then, most helpfully, a toolkit at the end that pulls together websites, publications, and archives and organizations that you can consult. Once again, I'm going to skip around here a little bit down to our tree tips department. And tree tips is really meant to be a place for columns that will show you specifically how to do a particular genealogical task. So Photo Detective, which is written by Maureen A. Taylor, who's our resident family photo detective, examines one particular photo that a reader has submitted and calls out different things that the reader should look at to best identify who's in a picture, what was happening, when it was taken, or where it was taken, using clues like what they were wearing, how they're sitting, what's in the background, that kind of thing. In our Now What column, David A. Fruxell, who's the founding editor of Family Tree Magazine, will answer usually 2 or 3 reader questions. So in this case, about indentured servitude in colonial Maryland, and how ancestors dealt with the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. And there's, if you'd like your question or your photo to be considered for a Photo Detective or Now What, you can do so from this link here by emailing us. Moving on, we have our website tutorial, which is an in-depth look at one particular genealogy website, in this case US Gen Web. Again, each issue will cover a different website, and each website tutorial has a corresponding article on our website as well as a YouTube video. on our profile, so you can see an expanded version of this tutorial online as well. And lastly, we have Resource Roundup, which looks at a particular set or particular methodology or task that genealogists need to perform, and our contributing editor pulls together 5 websites that will help you do just that thing. So in this case, it's historical map websites, David Rumsey Map Collection, Historical Map Works, etc. And we also have DNA Q&A from Your DNA Guide, Diane Southard, and she will answer a question about DNA testing. Great feature there. So one last thing that I want to draw your attention to. Each issue of the magazine also has a cheat sheet, which is a special 8-page gatefold call-out sheet that sort of gives you quick tips about a particular genealogical subject. So in this case, adoption genealogy. And we found these are very popular with our readers. And like with the state guides, if you miss a cheat sheet from an issue, you can find them all on our website for individual purchase. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I hope you pick up a copy of our magazine.